Hey there, welcome back to Author Journey. My name is CJ Anaya. Today we are going to talk a little bit about writer's block, and I say a little bit just because I'm not going to get too in-depth into this because I really could, and also because I'm actually creating an online course to teach authors what this is, part of what, and if you can hear my girls screaming in the background, they're upstairs playing quietly. Okay, what writer's block is. Because I feel like writer's block, just the balloon term, it's very, it doesn't really get to the heart of the matter. It's a bit of an abstract concept. And essentially it's just, for me, I believe that it's just several ways that authors are getting stuck. You pinpoint why you're stuck, where you're stuck, and then you find the solution for it, which is kind of what I want to cover in my online class. But I do want to talk about this just in broad general terms, because I recognize that it is a struggle for a lot of authors. It's been a struggle for me in the past. I don't necessarily like to call it a block or a writer's block. I feel like that's a limiting belief. I think basically they're just moments in our lives when we get stuck, and we get stuck for various reasons. And the quicker you can unstick yourself, the better. But that has a lot to do with figuring out why you're stuck in the first place. And to just throw your hands up in the air and say, oh, well, I'm blocked. I'm not gonna, I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna put it away for a while. I mean, obviously sometimes your brain can be overworked and that's fine, but I see a lot of authors give up and just not push through and not finish because they're like, oh, it's writer's block. And then it's almost like that word alone is enough for them to just stop and not push forward or do anything. And so I wanted to look at the Wikipedia thing because there was something in here that I kind of was like, oh, I don't really agree with this. Even though this is what is considered writer's block. It says writer's block is a condition primarily associated with writing in which an author loses the ability to produce new work. I don't like that because I don't think you've ever lost your ability to write well or to produce new work. There are just certain things preventing that creative part of your brain from processing things that you need to, okay? So maybe it's a little bit of a creative slowdown, but I don't like that it's a loss of something, because I don't think you've lost anything. I think you can only gain more and more as you continue writing. The condition ranges in difficulty from coming up with original ideas to being unable to produce a work for years. Throughout history, writer's block has been a documented problem. I agree that it has been a documented problem, but I still feel like people are making it very broad, and you can narrow it down. Like there are very specific reasons why people struggle with writer's block. Or with different aspects of it. It's just, there isn't just one thing. It's a lot of different things. So I kind of wanted to just bring up a few different things. Really what I think the heart of the matter is when it comes to writer's block, I think it's a lack of preparation when it comes to writing a story. If you haven't done your prep work, it's very easy to, write the first part of your book, get to the middle and go, well, now I don't know what's going to happen because you haven't done the work before. You haven't done your research. You haven't outlined it to the best of your ability. And so that's going to cause several different types of blocks or points where you get stuck. And then another reason for writer's block has a lot to do with, do you even know your story? Do you even know your characters? Do you know what their goals are? Do you know what they need to accomplish? So when you have those clear pictures, when you know enough about your story and when you've prepped enough about your story, most of the problems that writers face that they call writer's block, most of those go away. Okay, now there are other contributing factors such as stress. Stress can really mess with you. If you are stressed out like crazy, it affects the chemistry within your body. It affects the way that your brain processes information. And so it can cause creative problems when you're trying to move from that stressed aspect to that creative aspect. That's difficult. And so there are just a lot of different things. What you need to do when it comes to writer's block is you need to pinpoint where this sticky point is coming from. Are you having difficulty writing because you've been through a divorce and you're just feeling so numb and so tired and so frustrated that part of your brain is just not functioning how it should be? And if so, if you've pinpointed that problem, how can you fix it? What can you do? Not that fixing a divorce is I'm not saying that at all. I understand, but what types of things do you need to do to help yourself emotionally and mentally, so that you can, you know, have enough reserves to be creative. So there's stress. There's stress at work. There are also like health issues. Health issues can be a huge problem when it comes to being creative. I don't write well if I don't feel well. And that's the truth. If I am exhausted, if I'm not sleeping, if I'm not eating well. So these are also other things. And so I hate the term writer's block, even though that's really what my course is going to be labeled, because otherwise people aren't going to know what it's about. Because that's what we have labeled it as. I don't like that term because I feel like that in itself blocks people. You hear the term writer's block and it's almost like it's catching. People are like, oh man, I'm going to shut down now, because they don't understand it. So I feel like if you're going through a period right now where either you're not producing enough content, you can't produce any content, you can't think up anything, you just feel like you're stuck, I really want you to sit there and consider why. Now, if you are a pantser and you're not a planner and you don't do a lot of like prepping before you begin to write, I deal with a lot of pantsers who run into a ton of problems when it comes to getting stuck. And it's simply a lack of preparation. And here's the thing, most pantsers are sitting there going, but I need the freedom to negotiate and go down a different path if that's what the characters want me to do. I totally get that and I approve. However, there's nothing saying that if you plan the crap out of this book that you can't deviate from the plan. I do that all the time. And it's really kind of shocking. You know, how I think I have this one way and it ends up going just a little bit this way. But that's part of the process and it's okay. It's okay to have a very structured plan when it comes to writing your novel, because when it is that structured and you do decide to deviate a little bit, you still have that structure there. So you're not going to go off in a different area, like you're not going to try a different path and think, oh, this is never going to work. You already know it probably will because everything is structured so well. So I hope that the idea of outlining and planning things is not going to make any of you pantsers feel as if that's going to block you creatively, because it won't. On the contrary, it's going to make it so that you already have such a perfected plan for your novel and for your premise that if you do decide to deviate and you do feel like creatively you need to go in a different direction, you're going to have so much prepared and laid out and know the story so well, it won't be an issue and you will be able to do it more effectively. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on that. I want to let you guys know that I am creating a course, an online course. It's going to have several different modules. I'm going to talk about each aspect of the writing process, how you get stuck, why you get stuck, so we can pinpoint different things, different issues, different problems. I don't want writer's block to be an abstract concept that you cannot wrap your brain around. I don't want you to look at that term and just think to yourself, oh, I have writer's block, and walk away and give up. No, I don't want that. That is a limiting belief that we want to get rid of. So if you have any questions or any thoughts or anything that you would like me to help you with in this course, because I do already have it outlined, I am already filming it, I am working to make sure that I touch on all of the different pain points that writers are dealing with when writing a novel, things that are difficult for them, things that they don't know how to overcome. Please let me know, because I would like to address those things. I've talked to a lot of different people, I've surveyed a lot of different people, thought I would bring it to you guys so that you can let me know what aspects of writing are very difficult for you. When do you get stuck? Why do you get stuck? Where do you get stuck? How does that happen? And what kind of help do you need from me to overcome that? Because that's the whole point of this course, is to help you guys overcome this concept of writer's block, so that if it does happen to you, you can pinpoint what it is and overcome it and get rid of it as quickly as possible and move on and write, or you can prevent it altogether, which I think is really the goal, is to prevent that from happening altogether. So please comment below if you have anything you want me to touch on in this online course, because I will be super happy to do that. And also, like, if you felt that this was helpful, maybe gave you some ideas of just a little self-analysis that you can do if you are experiencing some sticky points in your writing and you're struggling to push forward a little bit. And if you're new here, please subscribe. It would be great for you to join the family. I would love that more than anything. Okay, we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.